How's it going, Knights? It's Tuesday, February 18th. Let's take a look at this week's announcements.
I'm Mr. Gonzalez, the director and choreographer of Feast of Fools Spring Musical, Violet, the musical. I have been so excited to do this show at Bullard. It's not only my first year, my first musical directing, but it's also the first time this show is being done in the Central Valley for any company, any school, anywhere. I saw it on Broadway back in 2014, and I read the short story it's based on, Doris Betts' The Ugliest Pilgrim. After reading the short story and then seeing it on Broadway, I was just completely affected and was so inspired by how good the music is, how good the story is, and just how honest it is about telling human stories. It plays for 2 weekends. We open on February 20th. We play Thursday and Friday of that week. And then the following week, we play Thursday, Friday, and we have 2 shows on Saturday the 29th. Tickets are $8 for students and seniors over 55 years old, and tickets are $10 for adults. And I just can't wait to have the cast, who's been extremely hardworking, as well as the rest of the team, share this musical with Bullard and the rest of Fresno.
Hey guys, it's your BSU President Deja Turner, and today I will be introducing Garrett Morgan, who is an African-American inventor, businessman, and inductee in the Inventions Hall of Fame. Throughout his lifetime, Garrett Morgan opened several businesses, which are his sewing machine repair shop, opened in 1907, his tailoring shop, opened in 1909, and his hair refining company, established in 1913. Along with being a businessman, Morgan was also an inventor. While coming up with a liquid solution in his tailoring shop for cooling down the sewing machine, he saw that the solution also straightened the wool. Upon seeing this, he then tested the solution on his own hair and saw that it straightened his hair too, which led him to making the solution into a cream and establishing his hair refining company in 1913. In 1914, Garrett Morgan put on a patent for his design for his gas mask, which was later used in World War I to protect the soldiers from toxic gases such as mustard gas. And in 1923, he patented his invention of the 3-light traffic signal, which is still in use today, in order to help prevent accidents. In May 2005, 42 years later after his death in 1963, Garrett Morgan was inducted into the National Inventions Hall of Fame for his impactful inventions.
While the coronavirus is currently a global concern, as of this filming, there are no reported cases in Fresno. Masks are being provided by the district for school nurses. Masks may only be given to students in the health office waiting to go home with flu-like symptoms. Any other student wanting a mask must have a doctor's note.
Bullard hosts Special Olympics basketball in the gym on Friday, February 21st. There will be a rally tomorrow to celebrate the players in the quad.
With pre-registration today and tomorrow for some students, the Biomed teachers want you to know about the opportunities available in this pathway.
Have you ever wondered how the human body works? Are you interested in a career in healthcare? Then you belong in the biomedical science pathway. There are 3 classes in the biomedical pathway at Bullard High School, including Principles of Biomedical Science, Human Body Systems, and Medical Interventions. Throughout these courses, students learn through real-world cases and scenarios and hands-on experiences that allow them to develop proficiency in laboratory and clinical skills using real equipment. In these classes, you will build a detailed 3D model of all 11 organ systems in the human body. Explore the organs of the human body by performing dissections of the brain, heart, kidney, eye, and many other organs. Learn clinical skills, including hands-on techniques like suturing, taking blood pressure, and assessing other vital signs. By the end of the pathway, you will also be certified in basic life support, CPR, the use of a defibrillator, and basic first aid. If any of this sounds like something you'd be interested in, please speak to your counselor about enrolling in the biomedical pathway.
Now for another installment of Get to Know Your Faculty and Staff.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, I'm here with Miss Nast, and she's here to tell us on what she does on campus.
I am not a teacher, I'm not a VP, I'm not a CA. I'm an instructional coach, and that person supports all new teachers on campus, new to the teaching profession, so anyone who's clearing their credential. That's who I work with.
What made you want to become a teacher's coach, and specifically at Bullard?
I had taught in the classroom for 16 years and I was looking for something different, but I wanted to support teachers still and students. So I decided to interview as an instructional coach, and I was originally placed at Roosevelt for a couple years, and then I got the call to come to Bullard. So I came to Bullard in 2013.
Where can we find your office?
That's a great question. I'm in the tech room of the courtroom. So, yeah, and if you close the door, there's no windows, so it kind of feels like Vegas. You're just never sure what time it is.
Now to your principal, Dr. Alvarado, for part 2 of WASC.
Question number 4 reads, why is Bullard High School in a probationary status, and how long is this in effect? So let me give you some history. In 2017 was the ending of its previous 6-year accreditation cycle and on to its next 6-year accreditation cycle. So Bullard High School back in 2017, 2018 did not pass its accreditation process and therefore was placed on a 2-year probation cycle. So we are approaching the end of the 2 years. And in November, early November, we will have the WASC Visitation Committee return, and they will ask us if we did what they suggested we do, and we will go through the process. And at that point in time in November, the Visitation Committee will give us one of 3 findings. As an accredited school, secondly, on probation for another year, or thirdly, they would qualify us as an unaccredited high school. We do not want the second or the third to be the result. We're going for the first, which is to reach accreditation. So there is work that we need to do. Question number 5. What is the overall plan in getting us out of WASC probationary status? So in its simplest form, it means this. We know what we need to do. The process that we're persevering through right now is doing what we need to do so that when they visit us in November, we will demonstrate to them that we have done what it is we needed to do based on their original findings in 2017, 2018. So that would conclude in its simplest form what WASC is, what WASC does, why we are on probationary status, and in its simplest form, what we need to do in order to be successful in our next WASC visit, which will occur in early November. So things to look forward to in our next sessions would include going a little bit deeper on those areas that we need to work on and improve upon. Thank you for your time. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Now to Kelly in the Sports Corner.
Good morning, Knights. Let's take a look at your sports this week. Let's take a look at this week's installment of ESPN.
All right, so why did you get into wrestling?
I got into wrestling because I did judo and I went really far with it. I got to nationals and I got to states, and so I decided that I wanted to do a sport that was individual, but I could also do a smoother transition, and that was wrestling.
I got into wrestling my 8th grade year because I just didn't like basketball, and wrestling just seemed fun. I had really supportive coaches and I stuck with it.
So what is wrestling about?
Wrestling is about pushing yourself physically and mentally to your limits and then some, because there are people who you go against that they'll just give up, and when you give up you lose and you can't just quit. I mean, I've had some of my best matches that I've lost, but we fought to the very end, and that is truly what it's about. It's not quitting.
Why would you encourage other girls to get into wrestling?
I would encourage other girls to get into wrestling because it is a sport that pushes you past the limits you ever expected you have, and it challenges you, but it also, you make great friends, teammates. It's like a family, and it keeps you busy, keeps you out of trouble, and like I said, it really challenges you.
How did your guys' season end up going?
So the season has been very successful for both of us. We've competed against some of the top seeds. We've competed against some state qualifiers from previous years, and we have won, and we've performed really well. So far it has been very successful.
Our season this year was really successful for the girls. We traveled to Rockland. We had a rough tournament, rough go there,
but we came back. We were fighting every weekend. At least one of us was making the finals. A lot of first places. Our last weekend, we both took first. It's been very successful this year.
All right, and now they're about to give us a live demonstration of what they can do.
Now back to Clayton Jack in the newsroom.
Have a great rest of your week, Knights.
And remember to stay psyched.
You're not gonna do it.